Okay, this is on how to save on rent in particular. I hope that it doesn't mess with the video. I've never done this before. I made some notes and I made them on the notepad on the phone. I mean on the computer itself. And one is to get a roommate. So if you're on HUD or something, you cannot do this. You shouldn't have to, honestly, if you're on HUD or something. But, or you may have to give up your HUD if you're only getting $20 or $30 and get a roommate. And that will, affect half your expenses. And you may choose to pay a couple $100 more to get a 2-bedroom so that you can split the lights and water and all that, and that will save you a lot. I've never done it, but I know a lot of people that have. Negotiate when you renew a lease if your rent's in the fair market value range. Where I live, he wouldn't really do much because it's $3.75 a month, which even for this area is very, very cheap. And I apologize if you can hear traffic and stuff. I have the doors open for my pets to come in and out. Pay up front. What does that mean? That means that you pay the entire lease, or at least a few months up front, if you can afford to do that. Some will give you a little bit of a break if you do that. Sign an extended lease. We don't really have that around here. Basically, at least when you're on HUD, they just ask you if you want to stay another year, and you're sure. You do have to sign for the first year, even if it's with the same landlord, even if it's in the same apartment building. But once you're in the second and third year, you don't have to. But sometimes they will. If you sign for, say, a 3-year instead of a 1-year lease, or a 5-year instead of whatever, then they will knock off so much a month. And it varies from company to company, or from landlord to landlord, because a lot of landlords are just looking to make a little bit extra money for their retirement. Because honestly, you can be a landlord or a landlady into your 90s or your 100s. I know people that have done this. Old couples that just had a couple of places that they offered up for rent. Give up your parking space if you have one. A lot, like around here, there's just parking areas. A parking area here and around back. At each individual's trailer, because there are trailers in the back, and that's pretty much it. But there's no assigned parking or anything, so it's not a big deal. And where me and my sister live out here up front, there's a couple areas to park. And look for apartments in the winter. Apparently, they want to. Apparently they have a hard time renting them out in the winter, and in order to keep them from being empty for a long period of time until the spring, they all will be willing to take a little bit less. Do private rentals. That means it's a small company or a small individual owner. Usually a small individual owner or family. But I have seen it used for smaller corporations, because sometimes for tax reasons it's one person and they just put it in a corporate name. Like Riggs is real popular around here in the southwest Virginia area. That's southern Virginia in the southwestern part. It's basically one owner and they offer very good apartments for very cheap. My sister has rented off of them in the past. Several of her husband's family members, her ex-husband's family members have. Consider a new location. If you live in a big city or even a smaller area that's just more expensive, or a state that's more expensive, like California, it's more expensive than Virginia, Or a woman I used to be subscribed to, she lived in Colorado and she moved to Wyoming. She seems to be a wonderful lady. I was just following way too many people, and I really can't watch. I don't have the attention span anymore for 30-minute videos, but that's mainly why I unsubscribed from her. Offer to work for the landlord. This is a really good one. One of the trailers, the guy is in his 70s, he's retired. He does some lawn mowing work and stuff like that. He doesn't pay any rent. If and he fixes up apartments during the winter because he's not doing as much weed eating and mowing and stuff. And the guy that owns this doesn't just own here. He owns, and no, this isn't Rick's property, this is somebody else. And he actually doesn't have a company that I know of. But he actually owns several areas in this particular town. And he takes care of those too. And as a result, he lives there rent free. His daughter does a lot of cleaning when an apartment or a trailer goes free. And sometimes she'll have 3 or 4 she needs to clean in the same month. And then sometimes she won't have to clean an apartment or a trailer for months on end. But the way they worked it out is, as long as she's available to actually do it, then she gets rent free. And she works on top of that, or used to did, and she got laid off or something during COVID. But I know a lot of times her dad took her or her husband to work. And like I said, her dad is retired, but he gets a VA check, and he gets Social Security, so he's doing well for himself, and probably could afford rent, but why not get it for free, and then you can spend the money on other things. And referral fees, that's mainly for bigger apartments, and I know of several in this area that oftentimes they will say, every time that you refer, you will get $25 knocked off of your rent, or $50 knocked off of your rent, or $95 knocked off of your rent. It's different from time to time. Like sometimes they're desperate for more people, so they'll say, we'll give you $95 off your rent. And all you gotta do is refer people. And if they take an apartment and say, my friend Amy, because I do have a friend Amy, then, if I said, my friend Amy referred me here, and she said to give my name. And sometimes they'll even do it for both people. So they would not only give her $50 off, they'd give me $50 off my first month. See what I'm saying? So a lot of people have done that. And I'm keeping this to under 10 minutes. I think I did well. I hope it turned out okay. I'm going to review it and see if I need to edit it or anything. But hopefully it turned out okay. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. I'm really enjoying making these videos. Let me know what else you're interested in besides frugal things, because I want to make a lot of different videos on a lot of different things. I like a lot of channels that are like that. I know they're not the most popular on YouTube by any means, but I like people that have, you never know what you're going to get. You do, but you don't. Like they've got 4 or 5 different things. Like they do a cooking video one day, and then 3 days later they're doing a frugality video, and then 3 days later they're doing a true crime video, and then 3 days after that they're doing a biography video. And they do quite a few of all of those things that I mentioned, but they have 3 or 4 different interests, and they bring them into their... So, just let me know what you enjoyed. I'm going to watch this back now. It's went a little over 10 minutes, but I'm trying to keep them lesser time. And with that, I'm going to go. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.